Good. Let's see. We clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a pleasure having you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer. And technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And for you to become emotionally balanced, I'm definitely not referring to, let's just say, you being polite or not having to raise your voice, or they go down, we go up, they go up, we go down. It has nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying? Now, depending on what the situation is, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let a motherfucker know. You feel me? And still maintain and still being emotionally balanced. When we're saying emotionally unbalanced, it's when you're being triggered. You don't understand how your emotions are being created. So therefore you are pretty much being enslaved by your own emotions. Whereas on the flip side of that, when you become emotionally balanced, now you express yourself through your emotions. You're not being suffocated by them. So when you see somebody being triggered, of course you may say they are saying something, but it's really pain. A reaction being triggered, the essence, the root of it is pain and lack of balance. And not, it's so being emotionally balanced could, it has nothing to do with being polite in so many words. That's what I was trying to say. And but mostly it has to do with you being in control of your emotion. However it comes out, you could be in control of your emotion and choose to respectfully say fuck you to a motherfucker. Nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? I do it a lot. So bear with me for a second. You know what I'm saying? I'm not triggered. I don't fuck with you. Or vice versa. Do you see what I'm saying? But the point is, you being in control of your shit. And for you to be emotionally in control, you got to understand, you have to master it. You have to understand everything about it. To master anything, like you got to know everything that is to know about that thing. You made it yours. So it goes beyond just being polite. Now, on the flip side, well, as in addition to that, I also help you to become mentally balanced, which is also the same thing. Now we're talking about you. I mean, how do you be in control of your mind if your mind is being controlled by other people? It just would. It doesn't work. You're not going to be mentally balanced. You're just going to be mentally controlled. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you motherfuckers are mentally controlled. Well, that's what mind control is. Your behavior is being conditioned a certain way. And a lot of times you're not even aware of it. So I help you to understand how your emotions are being, I mean, I meant to say your intellect is being shaped. The society that you're growing up in, how is it impacting you? What kind of thinking that they're giving you? Understanding your culture. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it all has to do, I mean, it all has a big influence in you being mentally balanced. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I tell you, hey man, would you like to have a piece of like some dog thighs? You know what I'm saying? Some a dog quarter leg, you know what I'm saying? That alone may want you wanna like throw up, right? Whereas in other countries, man, niggas eat dogs. I'm just saying. And you truly being biased because that's what culture is. That's why you have to go beyond your culture because your culture is always going to be biased, meaning there's going to be a limited perspective. And for you to become whole as a person, to be fully whole, you have to be mentally and emotionally balanced. That's what spirituality is. I mean, pretty much we just discuss, spirituality right here. Our purpose on earth. Okay, I'm stretching it a little too much now. You know what I'm saying? But if you follow what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm saying? It's all connected. It's all connected. So now, again, so you have to understand how your, intellect is being shaped because that's everything. That is how, if you're being conditioned to think a certain way, well, that's how you're going to think. But again, I guess, I was kind of like getting ahead of myself because as part of my, I guess, presentation, I always like to give you a little bit of background about what spirituality is. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now I'm showing you, that's why in the Kabbalion they say it's all mental, the all is mind. Because when you talk about spirituality, you're talking about everything. But anyway, as a spiritual healer, that's what I do. Now, if you're coming back, you already know. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Get your smoke. You know what I'm saying? We always break bread here. That's what we do. Okay? So we're breaking bread. We're having our last supper. You feel me? Let's do what we do. Get you a plate. You know what I'm saying? You already know it's our love on this side. Now, again, as part of my presentation, especially if this is your first time or even if you're coming back, for me, this is everything. Because I feel like if you understand what spirituality is, you're done. This is it. That's you understanding, that's you. I mean, this is it. It's right in front of you. That's it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's so, I mean, it's too close. I see it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta lay back so you can look at it better. Like I always tell people, it's not how much you see, but it's how you're looking at it. Because if you're looking at it from the different, like from a limited perspective, well, guess what? No matter how much you think you see, it really doesn't mean anything. Well, another way of saying this, that's when we talk about quality and quantity. So quality has everything to do with being inherent. This is you as a spirit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find your beauty, baby. But anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. You know what I'm saying? It had to be said. It had to be said. But this is the point. That's why we're here. That self consciousness that you need to have is you knowing who you are. Well, who the fuck are you? A living mind. Now, how do you get to you understand that you are a living mind? Well, culture. Look at how you act. Our speech is a representation of our mentality. I'm giving you how I'm thinking, which is also a part of me. Everything I do you see what I'm saying? So my world is reflecting that. Now, it's not always the case, but that's when you have your scammers, right? People who are deceiving you. Because I'm trying to say, okay, so when I said your speech is it's a reflection of your mentality, which is also then when you delve into what your mentality is, which is the mental spirit, you, a living mind. But anyway, so now you may argue, let's just say some people may be like, well, I may say something, but it's not a representation of how I really think. Well, dear friend, that's what I call an unspoken word. That didn't stop you from that. You expressed yourself. You were not honest in it. So true consciousness, that honesty, that self-knowing. So now those people are deceivers. You're scammers. You know what I'm saying? Who are not living. You're not about it. You talk about it, but you're not living it. Some people don't even talk about it at all. But anyway, to make a long story short, or even to get back to, me emphasizing and how important it is for me, whenever we get to talk, I got to let you know what spirituality is because it is everything. It embodies everything. So therefore, the common, let's just say, idea of the fact that spirituality is outside of you. It's like some sacred shit. It's out of ignorance because you don't, obviously you don't know what spirituality is, or you don't even know your true nature, because now you only identify yourself with your physical part. And we're going to be talking about that too tonight. And I'm going to show you how, even in our culture, like everything we do is fucking spiritual. We don't even know it. I mean, again, there's no way, there's nothing, you know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about spirituality, spirit, your, you know what I'm saying, perspective, imagination, all of that could be, I guess, throw in. I mean, you could throw that in there in terms of, you know what I'm saying? But again, this is you having this human experience. There's nothing that is created outside of your mind, meaning we all agree with, spirituality, and the way we, whichever religion, or even let's just say you're a fucking atheist, right? Your mind is still being shaped a certain way. That's why I always tell people, even when you're being objective, you're still subjective because it's coming from you. Let's just say if I were to say I don't feel pain, my body feel pain. It's coming out of my mouth. How do I feel what my body feels? I mean, even though I'm saying I don't feel it, but I'm living it. So much so, do you see what I'm saying? So it's all subjective. So the reality is there's no difference. But the idea of saying my body feel pain, I don't feel pain, is to separate your body from you. But yet again, that expression is coming from you. This is crazy. How do you choose one part of yourself and neglect the other? Well, that's what most people do. That's what the fucking ignorance is. Because that's why you'll see most people who become truly spiritual, it's not really like, they're not against life. They shouldn't be against life. That's why they embrace nature. You see a connection with you in nature. I hope. In fact, what we're going to be talking about tonight, has a lot to do with nature too. But anyway, um, so it's spirituality is your regular life. So then within spirituality, we use something called the occult, which means or hermetic, what I'm saying, a sacred knowledge, a hidden knowledge. But the hidden knowledge doesn't mean it's being hidden from you. Like if it is kept away from you, I don't want you to see it. No, that hidden mean this type of knowledge you got to go in. That's when you'll see the common denominator in all of those occult or spiritual, sacred or disciplines. You could call it the Sufi, uh, 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 a Mason, or whatever the fuck. Ultimately, they're all referring to the inside, the part of you that is truly you. So, in other words, when we talk about the occult is to give you a deeper understanding of who you truly is, or you truly are, depending on how you look at yourself. How you want it. All right, cool. You're smart. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, doesn't matter. You feel me? But the point that I'm making here, and which is also very important, because again, you cannot dissociate spirituality from your regular life. Now what the occult is doing, just like I was saying, that regular life that you're living, just right here, right now, guess what? You got the power of manifestation. Oh, motherfuckers like, yo,